Hello, my name is Samar. I also go by Sam or First Time Panner. Any of those you want to call me, you can. This will be a late, all my videos this month are late, but this will be a late update to my Pan Those Palettes series. I'll leave the playlist linked in the description box and at the end of the video, but basically I'm doing multiple types of Pan That palettes this year. So I'm doing a Pan That Face palette, which is in this Denessa magnetic palette, and then I'm also doing a seasonal Pan That palette for eyeshadow palettes, where I give myself 3 months to focus on a specific palette. But I mean, I'm letting myself use the palettes like anytime I want, but I'm pretty much sticking to like which season they're in, even though it's not actual seasons. But anyway, I don't really have too much to update you on. In fact, the only palette that I've used since last update is the one that's like my focus palette for this quarter, and that's my Natasha Denona Mini Star eyeshadow palette. Here's what it looks like in the pan, but it gives off a lot of glare, so I just swatched it. I don't usually swatch the palettes in these videos, but I only brought this one out and it's only 5 pans. So here's what it looks like. The shift actually looks really nice on camera. Trust me, it does not look like that on the eyes. It's just 5 shades, 3 metallic type shades and 2 mattes. The only 3 I've used are the 3 in the middle, the 2 mattes, and the pink metallic. I do actually have a little bit of visual progress. This is so difficult with the glare, but if you can see the dip, you really can. I'll try to take a picture of it because I actually do have a noticeable dip in the light brown matte. I also have the tiniest bit of a dip in the dark brown, but I feel like honestly I could hit pan on this light brown because those mattes are fairly easy to use as far as like I mean they're not good quality and they do take, especially the dark brown, takes a lot of work to get to look nice. But as far as my opportunities to use them, because they are just brown neutral shades, I can wear them a lot more often than, you know, like any other colorful mattes, which my last quarter palette was pretty much all pinks and purples, so it was a bit harder for me to wear on a day-to-day basis. These are a lot easier to wear, and then also just even if I'm doing something on the weekend where I just want some neutral mattes to throw in my eye before I go in with a metallic, I always reach for that palette. So I am making, I feel like, at least more noticeable progress on those 2 pans, but I am pretty much only using those 2 pans. And then I use the pink metallic when I'm doing a look exclusively with this palette. In fact, that's what I'm wearing today. So I'm wearing those 3 shades on my eyes, but I did not use the other 2 shades at all, I don't think, other than using this blue shade right here once with my quarter 1 palette, which was the e.l.f. Rose Gold eyeshadow palette. I don't think I used those other 2 shades at all this year, and honestly they might not get any use because I'm pretty much just sticking with those 3 because they're just easy to use. But that is the update on my quarter 2 or spring eyeshadow palette, and again I'm gonna try to hit pan in that lighter brown. It like barely shows up on me. It shows up a little bit better on my eyes, but you can like hardly see here. I'm gonna try to hit pan on this shade by next update, but I've never hit pan on a Natasha Denona shade before, so I don't know exactly how deep the pan is, but you'll just see in my next update whether or not I'm able to do that. Now onto my face palette. I have been using these regularly. Mostly I've been using the bronzer and the contour. I use them every single day, but I have not used the blushes as much because I was really trying to finish a cream blush, which is technically a lipstick, in my Problem Area Project pan, so I was just using that one every day as much as I could. So like I already had pretty pigmented cream blush and I didn't want to add more on top of it. Oh, but actually speaking of the blushes, I totally forgot I did repress this one here because it was starting to crumble. And I already talked about this toward the beginning of the year, but it came up again. So basically this looks super extra pink because this is a Franken of a super pink blush and a like pink tone bronzer. But that super pink blush, which was an old Too Faced blush, the pink pigment just leaches out anytime you put alcohol in it, and I tried dry pressing it, it doesn't really work, so I had to repress it with alcohol, so it made all of the pink just come to the top. So it's pretty much like an overspray in action, I guess. It's not really an overspray, but that's how it's behaving. So that super bright pink, once I wear away the top layer, that will go away and it'll look a lot more mauve-y toned once I do, but it'll probably take me like a month or two to completely wear away that entire top super bright pink layer. So you'll get to see the progress with me as I slowly work my way through it. But I just have kind of avoided using that, except for once. I do have like a tiny patch of the mauve peeking through, but I've been trying to avoid using that one because it does show up on my cheeks super bright pink, and I just haven't really been wanting to go to work looking like that. But that's kind of the whole update for this face palette. I'm using as much as I can every single day, but it's just very slow progress, especially when I always have to keep repressing things pretty much like every month. And then I very firmly press stuff, so there's like a lot of product packed in each of these pans, so it's just gonna take me a long time to see any progress, if we ever see any progress, because soon it'll be halfway through the year and I still don't have any pans. But that's totally okay with me. Hopefully it's not boring for you, but that is all for this update. I know it's coming like over halfway through the month. Sorry about that. My May and April has just been super hectic, but I will try to get back to regularly scheduled beginning of month updates for this project. And next time I'll be rolling in my Q3 palette, eyeshadow palette, which is the ABH Norvina, which I'm so excited about. So stay tuned for that. But until then, I will just have to see you in my next video. Until then, I hope you have a great day. Thank you for watching. Bye.